Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Shooting Off at the Mouth. It's been a long time since I've done this, but yesterday was a very important day. It would not be too much of a hyperbole to say that Indian politics underwent a change. I don't know whether the change will stick, whether it is for the better, but yesterday's results in the Vidhan Sabha elections were a big deal. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those learned tribe who can comment on the politics of it. But as a citizen, I know that it affected me, and I'm sure it affects all of you. Of course, I'm here having donned my hat of a lawyer, which I am. And yesterday was a day which was a very important day for what I have to say. By the suo motu petition order of the 30th of April in suo motu writ petition number 3, the Supreme Court passed several directions in the writ petition which it had started to monitor the state of events in the pandemic hit country of ours. That order came to us yesterday. Also came to us yesterday a news report that the sedition law, that much abused colonial legacy that we have, that our political masters have so jealously guarded, that law has to be seen again. And I am happy to say that a bench of the Supreme Court has admitted a writ petition challenging the constitutional validity of this law, pernicious law, and it has said that evidently our full bench pronouncement about this has not prevented it being misused. This case was brought up before a bench headed by Justice U. Lalit, and it dealt with the journalists. It dealt with the case of journalists who were facing sedition charges as they went about their journalistic duty and pointed out mistakes, called out the state, even criticized the state. And the Supreme Court is going to look at this again, and the sooner the last nail is hammered into the coffin of this law, the better. Yesterday in the Indian Express, Tavleen Singh, with her wagging schoolmarmish journalism, pointed out to the government that what first we need and last we want is truth from the government. And this truth has become a rare commodity because every part of the discourse is shaded by political view. Taking Miss Tavleen Singh's statement as my fulcrum, I analyze two reports of yesterday's newspaper. One emanates from Ahmedabad and the other emanates from Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow. The Ahmedabad report blandly, and I say chillingly, contains this recital, and I read: as per the instructions of the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ahmedabad Cybercrime Cell, a monitoring cell team has been keeping a watch on the social media activities when, on 29th April, we came across multiple posts by the Facebook user, bleep bleep, I'm not giving his name, who used derogatory words against the Prime Minister, Home Minister, Chief Minister, Deputy Minister, with threatening language in order to cause alarm in the public, said the complainant. Now, why do they say in order to cause threatening language, in order to cause alarm? Because they wanted to bring it within the framework of sections 505 of the IPC and 500. The fact was that these Facebook posts were critical. They were derogatory. They were not criminal offences. They were exactly the kind of freedom of speech that the Supreme Court, by the order of 3rd, wanted to protect. Talk about the freedom of citizens to speak about things which they don't like. Now, to call the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or the Chief Minister names is a time-honored democratic right. If I can't criticize them, what use is it to stay in a country we call a democracy? Next comes from Lucknow, something as nasty. And what comes is this. The Jaunpur District Administration on Saturday registered an FIR against a 35-year-old private ambulance driver for allegedly making false and disrespectful. Since when has being disrespectful become a crime? Or have our political masters become so drunk on power that they have begun to believe that they are gods, that you cannot disrespect them? A disrespectful video landed this poor ambulance driver in trouble because he, out of turn, gave oxygen to patients who were not strictly entitled to it. And the Yogi Adityanath government thought, oh, this is terrible, because he said कि और नहीं दे रहे तो हम दे रहे हैं. And the quote in the news report is quite interesting. Chief Medical Superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Anil Sharma, said the action was taken because, bleep, the name of the accused, made allegations against the administration and hospital while making a video on his cell phone. Now here's the thing. I am a lawyer practicing in the High Court of Gujarat and Ahmedabad. I am heading or representing the Gujarat High Court's Advocates Association, which is intervening in a PIL. The Honourable Bench taking of the matter has been giving us audience for the last 1 month. I have been criticizing all these persons' efforts for the last 1 month. Am I committing an offence? Is my team committing an offence? Have we reached this abyss where the administration cannot be criticized? This is absolutely shameful. And please see when this happens. I must read out to you. I mentioned the Honorable Supreme Court dealing with the writ petition PIL, which is disposed of by its order of 30th. In disposing of that writ petition, the 3-judge bench headed by Justice Chandrachud says this. It is only appropriate that when many cities in India are suffering through the second wave of COVID, many have turned to the internet using applications, websites to find critical support. On these platforms, online communities led by members of civil society and other individuals have assisted the needy in multiple ways, often by helping them procure oxygen, essential drugs, a hospital bed in their own networks, or amplifying original requests, even offering moral and emotional support. However, it is with deep distress, this is what the bench says, that we note that individuals seeking help on such platforms are being targeted by alleging that the information posted by them is false and has only been posted on social media to create panic, defame the administration, or damage the national image. Now here it is. I say that the present administration in this country is manned by megalomaniac idiots. Here is my attempt at defaming them. I will say this in outside court and I will say it in court. Is this an offence? Everybody wants a better administration. Nobody is imputing motives to them. But to call an incompetent is no crime. The Supreme Court says so, that please do not criminalize that activity which is the ordinary activity of a discourse in a civilized democratic society. Then the Supreme Court goes on to say, we do not hesitate in saying that such targeting shall not be condoned. The central government and state governments should ensure that they immediately cease any direct or indirect threats of prosecution and arrest to citizens who wear grievances or those who are attempting to help their fellow citizens receiving medical aid. Do not target citizens who are airing grievances. This came on the 30th. And these two news reports come yesterday. Probably these actions took place around the same time. What comes from on high takes a long time to reach. Therefore, I'll just speculate that these FIRs which are filed in Gujarat or in Lucknow, did somebody tell the relevant police officer that देखो कोई भी criticize करे तो we have to go after them? I think not. During the emergency, when I was a young boy, we heard stories about distant district magistrates rounding up what they called to be rascals and wrongdoers, not because they were told from on high by Indira Gandhi or her minions that you must crush dissent. No, they heard the drumbeat of the leaders and automatically they fell in step with that. They molded their actions to suit what they thought was what the government wanted. This additional Deputy Commissioner of Police Cyber Cell and the Chief Medical Superintendent of the hospital at Lucknow, Dr. Anil Sharma, both listened to this drumbeat subconsciously, took a call that what is sounding a discordant note with my political masters, let me go after them. A, because that is what they want and I want to please them. And B, even if I am breaking the law, I'll be protected by my political masters. The bureaucratic mindset has always been to control the citizens' freedoms. Civilized history has shown that it has always been statism versus the citizens' freedom. In this fight, the citizens have been losing for quite some time, and now the attack has become really harsh. I just want to leave you with this thought that the freedoms which we have taken for granted will become non-est unless we continuously and at some little or greater peril to ourselves continue to exercise them. And the most precious freedom of all those given to us under the Constitution in Part 3 is the freedom of thought and speech. Don't let the thought police get you, and don't let them shut you up if you have a valid point to make. Thank you. Jai Hind.